There's one. That one feels better, a little better. Much better. Kind of tough when they got the hooks in the bottom of their mouth, but getting a little bit bigger. Alright, so after I fished a spot pretty thoroughly with the jerkbait, got all the active fish I think I can, this is when I'm going to come in with my shaky head and just kind of pick it apart. And I find that I get a lot of bites, and sometimes some nice bites that just aren't eating the jerkbait. So I'm going to test this spot again, see what I can figure out. I had it snagged up on something there and pulled off and there was a fish on. That was weird. What was that? Ooh. Nice bass. Real nice bass. Oh yeah. Chunk. Oh yeah. That's more like it. Look at that chunk. Worm right in the top of the mouth there. That's a good fish. Solid 3.5 probably. Thick. Alright, so this dock here on the end of this bluff is a perfect spot. It's really deep here and it holds some big fish sometimes. I'm going to try to see if I can get anything to bite on jerkbait, and I'm going to flip over to a worm after that. Throw this jerkbait around a little bit just to see if anything's out cruising out in front of the dock. Then I'm going to take that worm and start flipping it right up in the dock. Drops off. It's basically shallow under the dock on a rock shelf, and it drops off into really deep water. So just a great spot for fish to stage. Even hang in the winter all year round. Let's see what I can do with the worm here. That didn't tickle. So I threw that jerkbait up there a couple times, nothing. Worm drops off the dock, fish on. It's a nice little chunk. There's bigger ones. All right, let's see if we can get this jerkbait working. Just really need some sun. Sun would make all the difference right now. I mean, this fishing would be on fire. As you can see, I've got cold snow melting in and dripping down onto this bank, which isn't ideal. But I've got a nice 45-degree angle, so it's perfect bank for wintertime fishing. These fish can move up and down, only have to move, 15 to 20 feet to get that warmth when the sun comes out, to feed everything they need to do is right here between me and the boat, basically. So I'm sitting in 16 right now. I'm probably gonna throw in about 5 feet. I bet the sweet spot's gonna be about 10. So we'll see. You know, people think you gotta fish deep in the wintertime. And yeah, on certain lakes there probably has some deep fish you can drop shot for, or, you know, LiveScope for, whatever. But on most lakes, I think a lot of these fish, there's a lot of resident shallow fish, and they just want to move up and down this bank. They don't want to get too far away. So I don't think there's ever a reason not to fish shallow. I don't care what time of the year it is. When I say shallow, 5 feet or deeper. Jerkbait cadence today is pretty fast. Probably just letting it sit for a second max. Doing a 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Moving it pretty quick because I've got 42-degree water temp. So honestly, like, I could probably maybe throw like a little Shad Rap or something and get some bites, which I might try that later. So that's my other go-to winter lure. But honestly, if I had 2 lures, it's the Shakey Head and the Jerkbait. You just can't go wrong. And that Shad Rap will stop working once that water gets really cold. There's one on the jerkbait. It's okay. It's another little chunky football. But definitely this time of year you can do a lot better than that. So, but kind of getting bites on everything. Getting bites on the jerkbait. Getting really good bites on the Shakey Head. So I just kind of want to experiment a little bit more and try a Shad Rap. All right, so let's give this dude a try. Tried and true, number 7 Shad Rap in crawdad flavor. I'm just gonna parallel this bank and just crank it, try to hit as many rocks as I can. There he is. All right, so see, you can tell when they're eating crawdads. Look at that lipstick on the front. So he's already been chewing on crawdads. That's from running down and hitting rocks and stuff. So this fish is already, and he's not the first fish I've seen like that. This fish is already dialed into eating crustaceans. So little guy, but every fish tells you a little bit of a story, and I noticed that when I was throwing the Shakey Head too. So those fish had a lot of the red lips on them too, where the jerkbait fish did not. So some of these fish, while they'll eat anything, I mean, I think these jerkbait fish are more dialed into the shad dying, and you know, crawdads for the other ones. So it's kind of interesting how you can figure out. I'm gonna throw this little crankbait a little bit longer just to confirm that there's some more fish eating it. But I think I'm gonna go back to my 2 favorites. And it's on, it's on. Better fish, for sure. Much better fish. Oh, hello. That's what you're looking for. And he choked that baby. Okay, well, I don't know. I think the crawdad crankbait might be proving itself as a pretty good option today too. So, biggest fish of the day, for sure. So this little stretch here, I love to throw this little crawdad crankbait on. It's just a nice ledge that drops off and the fish just sit on it. I catch them on anything here, but I'm going to start with crawdad crankbait. Just kind of be a little bit more efficient and quick. There he is. Alright, I knew something would eat it. And not bad. Alright, I'm gonna switch over to the jerkbait, see if I can get a bite on this. At this point, it's all just fun and games. See that red lip though? I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but crawdad eating son of a gun. Alright, jerkbait. Oh. Alright, jerkbait. 2 casts, 2 fish, 2 different lures. Let's see what we can do with the shaky head here. Shaky head. Fix that hook real quick. I already got a fish on. Oh, missed. Showing off. He came back for it. Oh. Oh. 3 casts, 3 different baits. Fish on every cast. That's why I love winter fishing. Early winter fishing, water in the low 40s. These fish just school up, eating crawdads, trying to get that last bit of meal in before it gets real cold. Man, you just cannot beat this time of year. Just got to know the spots, gotta fish the right banks, the right structure, and you'll get bit with the lures that I'm using, guaranteed. All right, so it's winter here in the Midwest, and I'm kind of setting up my go-to fishing setup for pretty much the whole winter. So just got about 8 inches of snow, just like last week, and so it dropped the water temps down into the low 40s. So just want to show you a little bit about kind of my go-tos. It's really a 1-2 punch, and then you know, I got a couple backups if I really want to, but it really just depends. But really my go-to and my favorite is the Lucky Craft pointer, but just jerkbait in general. So I love throwing a jerkbait. You know, it's versatile. You can sit it in front of their face. You can work it around docks. You can work it around brush. You can work it, you know, pretty much around rock. And you know, it's versatile. And these fish, they, you know, if you sit in front of their face for long enough, they're gonna eat it sooner or later. So I love this bait. Usually on 45-degree banks, which again, that's pretty much everything I fish this time of year. But I also like to, you know, fish it in water temps somewhere between 45 and 35. So you can fish it down all the way to freezing, and you will definitely catch some fish. You just gotta slow your paws down considerably. So water temp's about 42 degrees right now, so I am keeping my cadence at like 1 second. So I'm just jerking it every 1 to 2 seconds. So moving it pretty fast, really, in that respect. So I throw this on a 7-foot Micro Magic Ducket. It's a medium action rod with Chronarch, 10-pound test line, fluorocarbon, of course. You don't want to use anything but fluorocarbon. But 10-pound test is good. Some people drop down to 8-pound tests, go up to 12. Kind of just depends on your situation, but 10's worked good for me. I can cast it a mile, and I can feel everything really good. So anyway, that is my setup. And again, water clarity, can't fish it too muddy, but water clarity, at least, you know, 1 to 2 feet of clarity, and it should work pretty well for you. All right, so another setup that I love to use wintertime, and this setup I will use literally till the lake freezes over, and honestly I can use it all year, all summer. It's just deadly all the time, and it's not anything no one's ever heard of before. It's just a shaky head worm, rigged, weedless. I cut about 1 inch off of it, and then I'll put a little spike on the tail. Hopefully you can see that. And then I might add like some scent to it, but not necessarily required. But this little worm right here is just a cheap, tiny, nothing setup. And I mean, this catches me big fish. It catches me tons of fish. The fish start moving into preying on crawdads again towards wintertime. So pretty much again, 45 all the way down to freezing. I'm throwing this and just crawling it real slow across the bank. So I use this with, I throw this on a spinning rod. I just like the feel of it. 7-foot medium spinning rod, Stratic CI4 reel, braided line, 10-pound braid with a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And I usually have about a 5-foot leader, so kind of gives me the best stealth in the water, because these fish are a little more wary and they take a little bit, they're not quite as aggressive as, you know, spring, summertime. So I like to always have a fluorocarbon leader when I can, when it comes to slow moving presentations. So I'll throw this on 45-degree banks, rock, docks, wood, it doesn't matter. I'll throw this at everything. And honestly, if there's one lure that I could fish for wintertime all the time, if I could only use one, this would be the one, because I know I can get bites on it. All right, so just an honorable mention on a bait that I like to use, wintertime bait. This one, I will only fish it, so this is a number 7 Shad Rap in a crawdad color, and I only fish this probably from about 50 degrees down to maybe 40, so it just begins to be moving too quick, starts to get a little ineffective on these sluggish cold fish. But again, I'll throw it on a spinning rod just to get longer casts and everything. So that's an honorable mention. It works really great in certain situations. Honestly, where the temps are right now, about 43 degrees, I can just grind it along rock. And I mean, I'm running into nice bass left and right. You can tell they're feeding on crawfish. Their lips are all red, been pounding down on that rock. So, I mean, I can throw this crawdad bait right now and probably fish fast and more efficient than the other two, you know, the jerkbait or the shaky head. So in that respect, it's a great search bait. You can work it real fast. You know, you don't have to do the pauses and the stops and the jigs and feel for the fish. You just crank it and go. So from that respect, it's a really good bait. So really, I've got my 1-2 punch, and then I will throw on the crawdad bait when the time is right. You know, really this time is a good time to do it. So anyway, love that bait. It's also a great early spring bait. So anyway, number 7 Shad Rap. It's a great backup bait, but I love the shaky head with a Zoom Yum Dinger, and then I love my Lucky Craft pointers or any, you know, jerk bait that you enjoy using. So check them all out. Guarantee you'll catch some nice bass. This pattern can be used, you know, big lakes around my area, Table Rock, Lake of the Ozarks, Grand Lake. You can, you know, go down into Texas with this. Really anywhere there's good rock, I think, is in the wintertime is where I'll use these methods. So anyway, hope that they work out for you, and hope you enjoyed the video.